Here is the Fluency Roadmap. So with the Fluency Roadmap, what students are going to do is they're going to be practicing fluency. This will not probably replace your instruction when it comes to fluency, but just give students some extra practice when it comes to reading. So the first activity is accuracy. And all of these activities are linked to the correct slide. So then students can just click and go there. They can also use this little book as a tracker to help them know where they left off. Since this could take like a week long of different activities, students might need to kind of use that to help them track their pace along the way. So here is the first activity where students will just start practicing accuracy. So again, it's broken down by accuracy, expression, rate, and punctuation. So you can kind of see here, 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 and here. It takes the 4 parts of fluency and breaks it down. And then at the very end, students are going to practice putting it all together. So again, students are just focused on accuracy here. So they're just going to read the sentence 3 times in a row. They could do this roadmap with a partner and read it to each other, or you could have them use Flipgrid and they can record their responses. I would suggest making this Flipgrid moderated so that way their responses aren't public for others because they are just practicing. So again, students will just click add response. They can use the video or audio to fill in their fluency practice as they are reading this sentence. So again, they're going to read it 3 times. They're going to ask if it got easier each time they read, and then were they able to read it faster every single time. Then they're going to have multiple 4 different sentences here, and they're going to read those sentences 3 times in a row. And then they're going to, again, have some fun tongue twisters, and it's going to ask them how many times did they have to read those tongue twisters before they read it correctly. So again, it's just kind of a fun way to practice fluency. And then expanding sentences. So what that means is you will type the bear, and you're just going to keep writing that sentence out as you work on this kind of activity. So the bear went to, and then students keep reading it. So they go the bear went to, and then they would again keep reading it until they are finished with that expanding sentence. And as you can see, this template is totally editable, and you will edit every time you need a new independent practice for fluency. So you can come in, add your own sentences and whatever else you need. Right here where it says building sentences, over on the side, you can use this box right here, the shapes and a rectangle, and then you can type in the words that you might need for students to build those sentences. So again, I might have phrase 1 here, 2, and 3, and then my students will just drag and drop to put them into a correct sentence, and then they're going to read those sentences. And again, they can use Flipgrid or a partner throughout these activities. Then they're going to have a passage right here, and for some of these, you can use the same passage for students, or you can mix it up depending on what your students need. Students are going to first read the individual words that might be difficult to read, and they're going to type them here. Then they're going to look up any vocabulary words that they don't know and type that here. They're going to practice any words that follow a certain pattern. So maybe right here you put like you're looking for all AI words or AY or vowel silent E words, and students can type those words here. And then they're going to read that passage. They could also highlight. So if you wanted to highlight them, students could do that as well. And then right here, students are now ready to practice expression. So accuracy is kind of those slides above, and now they're getting into expression where they are going to read these words with energy. So again, they're going to read these 3 words with energy, and then they're going to read a sentence like a robot. And they're going to just kind of have fun with the expression part when it comes to fluency. And then this next activity, they are going to have a couple of different sentences, and they get to pick how they want to read these words. And again, you can add or take away these voice choices based on what you need. Right here, they're going to read the sentence 3 times in a row, read the sentence 3 times slowly, and see the difference that students are able to kind of come up with. Right here, you can come up with a list of words, and this is 1 breath. So students are going to go ahead and take 1 breath and read as many words as they can within that 1 breath. try it again, and see if they can get more into that one breath as they practice. And then this activity, students are going to have different phrases here, and they're going to use a timer. So when they just go into YouTube, they're just going to search, or they're just going to type timer. And right here, a timer pops up. They can also use the stopwatch. And then they're just going to write how many trials it took and their time to read all of those different phrases. And hopefully they see that they cut down on, or they add up the number, because they're going to set it for a minute. So they're going to read as many words as they can in a minute. And hopefully if they only get this far in 1 minute, but the second time they try it, they get row 2. And maybe here they get these many words. So again, students will kind of have fun with that activity when it comes to rate. And then here, there are going to be different sentences where students can pick who did what, where, and when, and then kind of develop their own sentences for this activity. So they'll pick someone from the who, did what, and where it might have happened. And then they're going to read it very slow and then very fast, these different sentences that will be listed below. Right here, students again are going to use a timer, and they're going to put in how long it took them to read that activity. And then here are the steps. So again, they're going to start a timer on this tab. So I'll go ahead and link the timer. And then once they have their timer running, they are ready to read that passage. Oh, it went white. They're ready to read that passage out loud. And then when they finish, they're going to stop that timer. They're going to type in the time that it took them, and then they're going to repeat again for time 2 and 3 to see if they were able to improve. And then they're working on punctuation. So there's going to be sentences with different commas or ending punctuation, and students are just practicing how to maybe pause for a second, or how to read something if there's an exclamation mark or a question. So again, students are going to work on punctuation on slide 17. And then again, they're just practicing reading as well. And then for the final practice, students are going to start that timer. Once they start that timer, they are going to read that passage. Then they're going to finish the timer. Then they're going to type how well they did. They will need a partner for this activity, so the partner can mark their errors, and then they can see their improvement over time. So again, just a great activity for students to work on when they are working on reading fluency. So again, use this template to add your own words, to add your own activities in, and then students can practice and improve over time when it comes to fluency.